What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Let's Talk Movies podcast. I'm your host, Brian Drolet, and again, I'm going to give you some news from the movie universe. Next week, I'll have a guest. I miss talking to people, but I like giving you guys the latest movie news. So next week, I'll have a guest, a good buddy of mine, comedian Ben Morrison, who's been in movies. But today, we're going to find out what's going on in the movie world. Paul Rudd, a very likable actor, just came out with Quantumania. Now, there is a bit of superhero fatigue going on in the world, I believe. And I gotta tell you, I haven't seen this movie yet. I'm not really that excited to see it, even though I've enjoyed every Ant-Man movie. But I don't know, I feel like Hollywood, we gotta mix it up a little, okay? We get like 5 superhero movies a year. I think there's serious fatigue going on, and Ant-Man, I think it has like a 48% on Rotten Tomatoes. Probably one of the worst scores in the Marvel universe, but I've heard from people it's really good. So let me know what you guys think of Ant-Man. It apparently made more money than any Ant-Man movie ever before it, so might not have gotten a high score with the critics, but it's getting a high score with the investors because they are making money. Because it broke the records for the franchise this weekend. I guess you could say Paul Rudd is not a Paul Dud. Sorry, what can I tell you? I got lame jokes sometimes. I'm coming with some lame jokes. Another superhero, Jeremy Renner, aka Hawkeye, is still recovering from his snowplow incident, and he posted on his Instagram story, he is using technology, a new technology. It looks like Tony Stark built this. It's called electric stimulation therapy. I know that if a snowplow ran me over, I would take any kind of therapy they could give me, especially cutting-edge technology. So Hawkeye, we are wishing you well. So this next tidbit of news, I gotta say I was very excited when I initially saw the headline, but it's not really that exciting, okay? The big news is James Gunn announces casting update for the DCU universe. You wanna know what the news was? Somebody on Twitter asked him, can we expect an update regarding casting in the next 6 months? He wrote, yes. I hope you got an update in 6 months, buddy. Come on, we gotta know who's gonna be the son of Krypton. I'm the most interested to know who are they gonna cast as Superman. I'm assuming it's gonna be an unknown, but it might be, that actor Taron Egerton, I think is his name. Taron Egerton, that's a weird name, huh? Hey, Taron Egerton. Taron Egerton. Sounds like a kid you went to high school with that played with mice. Mouses? Mice. I don't know. But anyways, I could see him maybe being a Superman. I know they want to go younger. He's a younger man, I believe. I think he's got blue eyes. Superman's got blue eyes, hey. But, movie magic, contacts, sure, it doesn't matter. But what do you guys think? Is it going to be an unknown? Is it going to be, somebody we're familiar with? Who would make a good Superman? I want to know. Leave me a comment. Let me know who you would cast as Superman. So to keep it in the Marvel Universe, apparently this is news. On Twitter, fans want Kang the Conqueror, who's in the new Ant-Man movie, but is apparently going to be the big bad villain in the new Avengers movie, which I am excited to see in another Avengers movie, but I guess are they recasting everybody? I think it's time. You got to mix it up. To be honest with you guys, like I said, I've got superhero fatigue. I do get excited, though, about certain movies. Like, I would be curious to see a whole new cast for the Avengers. I'm pretty sure they're going to also be introducing the X-Men because I think the copyrights finally leave Sony and go back to Marvel, where they always should have been. So I think we're going to get a really cool Avengers movie with new cast members or new actors playing the superheroes. But apparently people are rooting for Kang the Conqueror, who's the villain. So, nowadays we're tired. We're so tired of these movies. We're like, can the villain win? Wouldn't that be a great movie if just like, I don't know, in the new Superman, Lex Luthor just beats Superman. And like that's how the movie ends. It's like he beats Superman, he wins all the money, he steals Lois Lane, the end. I mean, that'd be an interesting take, Let the Hobgoblin beat Spider-Man for once. Let the villains win, all right? That's why Joker was so popular. By the way, Joker, if you guys didn't see, Todd Phillips released a new photograph of Joaquin. It's a fun name to say. Joaquin and Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga. That's a fun name to say too. Joaquin, Lady Gaga. We're ready for you on set. I want to be that guy. Do we have Joaquin? Is Joaquin in his trailer? Has anybody have eyes on Joaquin? We also need Gaga. Hey, has anybody seen Gaga? We have Joaquin and Gaga. Okay, I digress. They're fun to say. You should try it. But Todd Phillips released a photo of Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. It looks really good. It looks haunting. That's going to be a great movie. I am excited for that. And I do think because of the superhero fatigue, thank God for movies like Joker that change the tone, make it more dramatic. Speaking of more dramatic and darker tones, Marvel is going to make their first R-rated movie ever, Deadpool 3. Now, Deadpool has always been R, but it's been made by Sony. The rights shifted back over to Marvel, and they're going to keep it, which is smart. If they made part of what makes Deadpool fun and different from all the other movies is he curses, there's gore, people's heads are getting chopped off, and it's going to have Wolverine. We're going to get Wolverine in an R-rated movie. Deadpool 3, I'm definitely one of the movies I'm the most excited for. But what do you guys think? Do you like Kang? Do you want him to conquer? Kang the Conqueror. Also fun to say. I don't know. Getting a lot of fun words today. Let's keep it moving right along. What's next in movie news, you ask? So James Cameron has beaten himself. James Cameron's Avatar 2 has topped the amount of money that Titanic made. That movie, Titanic, stood at the top for so long. And then I think the movie I was just talking about, Avengers, beat it out actually. But now James Cameron's Avatar 2 has made more money than Titanic. So I think it's safe to say that the Avatar franchise is healthy, alive, and kicking. And I'm sure we're going to get those sequels that he wants to make. Adam Brody, who's in the Shazam movies, famous for the TV show The O.C., he was in the news recently. Apparently the movie Jennifer's Body, starring Megan Fox, that he's also in, was a box office blunder, as they put it, back in the day. But over time, it's become a cult classic that people really enjoy. And he was quoted as saying he thinks that the marketing department really messed up the movie because the movie was written by women, directed by a woman, Diablo Cody, who I believe just won an Oscar last year. So it was supposed to be a female empowerment movie, he said, but they just turned it into, oh, let's market this to guys who think Megan Fox is hot. So they kind of cheapened it. So it should have been a movie really marketed for women, but they went the opposite direction, and hence you got a failure. So, you know, that's something that really happens in this business a lot. A lot of times, one of the most frustrating things for me as a filmmaker is I'll make a movie, and companies that want to put it out and distribute it, they won't even watch it. They won't even watch your movie. They're buying it and putting it out based on a trailer and the cast. That's how it works in the entertainment industry. The companies that put out movies oftentimes do not even watch these movies. You'll have like a call with these people, and you know, you're the filmmaker. You just maybe spend 3-4 years of your life working on this thing. You're like all excited, like, do you guys like it? What do you think? And these people, they haven't even watched it. It's infuriating. And how can you really market something if you're not even watching it? So distributors, if you're watching this podcast, watch your movies. But you're probably not even watching this podcast because you don't even watch the movies. A lot of these people don't even like movies. I don't even know why they're in the business. Anyways, Jennifer's Body. I got to go back and watch that movie again, you know, for research. So do you guys remember, okay, if you're young, you probably don't. You should go back and watch it, though. Interview with a Vampire. It was a movie that came out in 1994. It had Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt. It was a really good movie from what I remember. I'd have to go back and familiarize myself with it. But at the time, it was very controversial. People didn't understand why he was casting Tom Cruise in the role. People thought it was a weird fit. But he said, and it kind of makes sense, you know, vampires need to retreat to the shadows and hide. And that's how he felt somebody that's big of a movie star as Tom Cruise, that was kind of his life, that he was always having to hide and be in the shadows. So I don't know, maybe a little bit of a stretch. Maybe he just really wanted the Top Gun actor in his movie. And he's like, yeah, he has to hide in shadows. Cool, cast him. But it worked out. The movie was a success. And that's why I cast Tommy Boy, which also was a good movie. So here's a really fascinating story about, not a story, but an anecdote. Let's go with that. It's a fun word to say, anecdote. A lot of fun words on this podcast, guys. That's what we do. We talk about movies and we say fun words. Joaquin, Gaga, Joaquin, Joaquin, Joaquin. Sounds like the sound a boomerang makes when it hits a window. Joaquin. Sorry, I didn't see the window there. Lady Gaga. So Liam Neeson was being interviewed, and how funny is this? Taken. I want to do a whole podcast just on Taken. It's like seriously one of the best movies ever. When they say when you write movies, you should really focus on primal. You know, focus on something that makes a viewer just something primal to your core, and we can all relate. Now, I don't have a daughter, but I imagine if I did, if somebody kidnapped her and was going to sell her into sex slavery, oh my God, like you just, it gets you riled up just thinking about it. It's like somebody telling you they're going to punch your mother. It's like all of a sudden your blood's boiling and you're ready to like commit murder. It's like, you do not punch my mother. You do not kidnap my daughter. So the primal urge in Taken was so strong and so profound, and that movie just, from an editing perspective, it just takes off. It just goes. It just never stops. There's never a down moment in that movie, which is why it's so good. But one of the most famous parts of that movie is when Liam Neeson is on the phone and he's like, look, you know, he lets the guy know. He's like, I have a very particular set of skills, and I will use these skills, and I will find you. You can give me my daughter back now, and I'll forget about this. And the guy says, good luck. And then Liam, he replays that, good luck, good luck, good luck. And you know this dude is effed. Well, here's what's crazy. Liam Neeson thought that speech was corny. He felt like a cornball, which is so fascinating to hear because I get that. You know, I've been in parts too where the dialogue might seem really corny, but little do you know, that's why you have to get a good director and sometimes just trust them. Like, no, trust me, you seem like a badass. And he did. It was like, I mean, man, that movie's so good. He gets his daughter the karaoke machine, and then of course the other husband, the wife's new husband, gets her like a pony. I mean, man, your heart just breaks for the guy. I mean, that movie is like I said, I'm going to do a whole podcast just on that. That movie is like everything right with a movie. Like, it just gets it. Like, remember I said save the cat, make somebody likable? How much did your heart break, and did you like this guy? Like him getting the karaoke machine, and then he gets the singer's phone number for his daughter. Like, how cool is that? So just, man, and then he's the man when he brings the girl back at the end, and just a great movie. Liam, you are not a cornball. You are a badass, sir. For Dungeons & Dragons fans, there's a new clip of Chris Pine talking to the dead. So if you're a fan, check it out. New clip for you fans, Chris Pine talking to the dead. That's how I felt when I went out the other night at a club talking to people. You know, hard to have a good conversation in a club, so I'm sure that's exactly how Chris Pine felt when talking to the corpses, the skeletons that come to life. Are you guys excited about Dungeons & Dragons? I know it's a huge franchise. I've never played it. I think you get a bad rap if you play Dungeons & Dragons. You know, people might say, oh, you're a dork, but hey, I think it's cool if that's what you're into, and you got an iconic, you know, good-looking hunk playing the lead, so it can't be that dorky if Chris Pine's into it, right? I don't know. But check it out. New clip online for you guys. Moving along. Nick Cage. Nick Cage is back with an apocalyptic thriller, Arcadian. I have to say, I'm good on the apocalyptic genre. I feel like we've seen it, we've done it. How many apocalyptic movies can we have? What is our obsession as a species with the end of the world? It's like we're just dying to die. It's like, can we just live in a happy present world? Everything's post-apocalyptic. Lady Gaga, Joaquin Phoenix. But yes, apparently, you know, he's making a nice little life in this man, that is not easy to say. Post-apocalyptic life, minding his own business, but then a force makes them have to survive and I guess face it. They're not really letting a lot of details out. This movie used to be called Sand and Stones. They just released the first image online. It's him driving in a car with his two sons. And yeah, so if you're looking forward to Nick Cage content, it is coming. Okay, so Austin Butler news, the star of the Elvis movie, he recently revealed in an interview that he took a page out of Ryan Gosling's book when it came time to have to gain weight to play the heavier Elvis. It's kind of gross what he did. He microwaved Haagen-Dazs ice cream and would drink it. And this is after eating apparently 12 donuts. Think about how hard we work to diet, to eat right. And now, I mean, that would be brutal to be drinking ice cream and eating that many donuts every day. Although maybe that's somebody's dream. Maybe that's your dream. Like I get to just pour ice cream down my throat and inhale donuts. If you like donuts, maybe it's a dream come true then. Maybe it was a lot of fun. I would find it hard. I don't think I could possibly intake that many donuts and the drinking the ice cream. That, I mean, I guess it's just a big ice cream shake, right? So, you know what? Maybe on second thought, maybe I will play a heavy person. Maybe I'll be in the next movie, The Whale, and start guzzling Haagen-Dazs. I don't know. I think, just send in the fat suit. That Tom Hanks, he had a fat suit in that movie. I thought that was the weirdest casting in the movie. They always have to have some big star, but it's like I was just so aware that he was in makeup and stuff. So good on and a fat suit. So good on Austin Butler for guzzling his ice cream and taking Ryan Gosling's advice. I mean, I guess that would be fun to have to get overweight, but I guess to a point, right? You wouldn't want to like just wreck your body and be unhealthy and have like a heart attack because you're like, oh, I was playing Elvis. It's like, that doesn't help us now. You're in the hospital, Austin. Also, do you have any more ice cream? It looked really good. Evil Dead Rise is the name of the movie. The evil is dead and it's rising. But yeah, apparently it's the longest runtime in the franchise history. I feel like movies just keep getting longer and longer. I don't know how I feel about this. A 3-hour movie, not that this one's 3 hours, but it's just too long for me. I don't have the attention span anymore. What about you guys? Do you like longer movies? Even when I really like a movie, I still just, I don't know. There's something about 3 hours where you're just like, man, this thing's still going. But yeah, Evil Dead, it's going to have the longest runtime. Apparently it's the longest runtime in the franchise, but it's still shorter than many blockbusters, they say. That movie will be coming out April 21st, and the story is largely unrelated to the other films. So this movie is about a woman who lives in downtown Los Angeles. That sounds like a horror movie if I've ever heard one. Downtown Los Angeles, if you don't know, it's a little scary these days. But apparently she gets taken over, are you ready for it, by a Canadarian demon. When I first read that, I thought they said a Canadian demon. Is that like a demon that's like, boo, eh? Hey, boo. But yeah, so I don't know if you're into that sort of thing. That's coming out April 21st, and the film will be 96 minutes long. That's apparently the longest it's been. But see, that to me is a good length for a movie. All right, guys. Like I said, next week I'm gonna have a guest on and talk some movies with him. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Let's Talk Movies podcast. I'm your host, Brian Drolet. Tune in next time.